We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Women Across the World, Women Empowered Across the World. And this is our podcast, and I have amazing hosts with me today. I have Megan from South Africa. I have Jackie Zaccoli from Arizona, but her Gen network is everywhere, global. And then I have Chinere from California, and oh my goodness, she's all over Africa too. And then I'm Carol Witt, and I am global also. And we have an amazing guest today. I'm so excited to have her on because I so align with what she is up to and what she promotes and what she is about. So, Kate, please come join us and share your story and inspire all of us.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. I suppose I'm going to start with a question because my somatic journey, my journey is actually embodied. So if you can remember the very first experience you had of just pure joy, pure ontological, physical joy, like something beautiful. This sounds strange. I was born dead. I was born dead. I was born white. I had rhesus in those days. It was rhesus, which was a life sentence for my mom and me. We survived. Both of us survived. But it was tricky. We didn't really connect very well because we were separated for such a long time in the beginning. And then we went straight to Bahrain because my dad was attached to the forces. So I was taken as a young baby, and the person who cared for me all the time, my mother was still sort of convalescing, was Abdullah. So in Bahrain, he looked after me, and the Adhan, the call to prayer, is in my body. It's just in my body. It's just every part of me. So that's what I mean. It's interesting how the things that happen to us are embodied first, are somatic first. So I had that. I had 3 years in Bahrain. Then we went back to England, and I went and I went to a convent school. So it was really it was really interesting because they had quite a different philosophy, quite a more sort of a controlled philosophy. Children were definitely seen and not heard. It was that sort of feeling. I think I was given a poem to learn when I was naughty at the age of 6. I did something and I had to learn a poem, which is quite weird. It was To Autumn by Keats. And then I went to Singapore. So we had 3 years in Singapore. Again, another forces trip. My dad was a weatherman. He wasn't actually um, uh, in the forces. He was a Met officer. And so Singapore was incredibly beautiful, incredibly somatic, all the experiences. And I went to a forces school there. So if you're following along my journey, I'm absorbing. So 0 to 6, you're just a sponge. So I absorbed sounds, taste, touch, different, especially sounds, but color. And my family laughed because we always celebrate Chinese New Year. We always do. It's just what you have to do. Because as a child of 6, I watched people who were the day before Chinese New Year were, dull, not shiny, not interested in life. And then suddenly New Year came and now everybody was excited. I went, "Oh, this must be this must be a magical day. Something about this day must be pure magic because everybody's happy." So I decided from then on I was always gonna always gonna celebrate Chinese New Year because it's a magic, there's an ontological magic. So all that ricochet meant that when I landed in England again in a typical grammar school setting, and I was quite confused. So we arrived back when I was 9, and I was thinking, well, hold it, right? So it felt like they're trying to tell me things, and everything I'd done up to then, I'd learned myself. I had absorbed, I'd chosen, I'd selected. Like the seed of the flame tree in Singapore, if you rub it on the ground, it becomes incredibly hot, and you can burn someone's skin with it. I mean, that's it's the sort of thing you learn as a child. And I was thinking, okay, now I'm being told what to learn. That confused me. I was thinking, oh, that's strange. So then going through the grammar school, I went to I found a way out. At 16, I went to art college because I could leave grammar school and go to art college at 16, so I did that. So that was art college, and then then basically I stayed at the art college till 1981. So that was a while, 4 years, yeah, 4 years. And then I added on my teaching diploma because they said it'll just be an extra year, you'll have it for life. So all that to say, my big plan was to have an art studio, to have my own art studio, to create, to play.
Mhm.
But I then found children in the teaching year. We had to have a work placement, and I worked in the school, and I went, like it was like I need to be here. I need to be with these children. And so what was happen is I realized that all of my somatic experience I just offered to them. I went, no, I didn't give mine. I mean, I said, okay, no, you have your own somatic experience. I'm going to back out. I'm going to say, hey, this is the project, and then just literally, usually one word. We're going to study reflections. Great, off you go. And I wouldn't add to it. I would just do that. So I had done that for many years. At 25, I was the head of an art department in Surrey, and got married, had a family. But Mark kept on saying we were going to move to America with Exxon, because he was with ExxonMobil. He's a geophysicist. So what was so funny is that I went, yeah, let's go. I'm a nomad. Okay, we're going. Right, that's it. I had nothing in my space. My children were like, pack your bags, we're going. They were little. And then when I got to England, I got to America in Kingwood, Texas, all the expats were sending their children to a school, this particular school, because it was a private school. It was a Montessori school. So you can see where the thread came from. I arrived at the Montessori school and I went, what? What? No, what? It was shocking. My whole body recognized it. I went, oh, all right. Okay. So I watched my children go. I mean, it was Amelia first, she was 3, and then Olivia when she was then 1. So they gradually worked their way into the building. And I saw my very, very decisive 3-year-old. She's a powerhouse woman even now, and especially now. And she was moving around the classroom. She was in an early childhood classroom, moving around the classroom, choosing work, restoring the work to where she got it from, which is a big whoop. Like, what was that about? I mean, what sort of magic is that they get the children to put the work back on the shelf where they took it from? And then I realized they all bought into that because they wanted to see the material again. They wanted to touch it again tomorrow. So if I don't play my part in restoring the environment, I don't get to see that work I loved and did really well with yesterday. And that happens in those 0 to 3 class. Sorry, not zero, but the toddler to 3-year-old classroom. Children know they walk into the classroom, backpack or whatever lunch they've got goes on the hook. They go straight to work. They take a piece of work off the shelf. They take it to a rug or a table. They do the work. They restore it, and they're 2. What are you doing? It looks like witchcraft, but it isn't. It's just they are so in love. We call it, I mean, they're seduced by the materials, and that's not seduced in the bad way. It's seduced in the way that it's just every part of love they can manage. Like they're so in love with things that they can do on their own. They have the power to choose. They have the power to say, actually, I don't want to complete this work. Great. You may restore it. The teacher doesn't say anything. They restore it and they go and choose something different. So I observed this for a very short while, and eventually I said, "Well, I'm an artist. I could, do you want me to teach art in the school?" And I couldn't. I didn't have a visa. My husband had the work visa, so I was just volunteer to start with. So I taught all the children art. So I went to every classroom. I went to every classroom for half an hour. I think it was toddlers had 20 minutes, and it built up. But and I just enjoyed doing that, which also meant that I could be with my children in the classroom. They watch them grow up, whatever. And then sadly, after all 3 graduated out of the school, I was still there. I was still there. I did not graduate. I stayed. And I was, yeah, because by that time I was running, I was being paid by that time, by the time they'd left. So I was being paid as a salaried teacher. And then I was running a parent program to bring in speakers, etc. But what was hilarious is as one of the big things we did was with a barn build playground. So Leathers and Associates would come in. They would say, right, gather your people. We had 1,000 people, which is from our parent body and people who wanted to help in the community. And we barn built a playground. So it's beautiful. It was full of art. I directed a whole lot of art college students and our students to create artwork. So it's called the Infinity Science Park. If you Google the Pines Montessori Infinity Science Park, that was mine. Well, our team's. And we did that, and then suddenly, sadly, at the holidays, Christmas, in that year, in the following year, the Board of Trustees decided to remove the director who we built the playground for. And it was confusing. It was confusing to everybody. So I had to, because I'd been a director of so many, so many art departments, and I've been teaching. I was teaching teachers in my second year of teaching. That's another story. But I've been teaching teachers my whole life. So I said, well, I do know how to manage this. If you'd like me to support you, because I wasn't, I wasn't indentured to the school in the same way as a full-time teacher. And so we had a meeting and we asked the board, well, like, what's happening? And they would not renege. They said, no, 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 she's definitely going. And Jim Zimmer of Men's Warehouse had his daughter with us, with our school. He had Jade. And so he said, well, Kate, no, he asked to buy the school. He said, I'll buy the school from you, from the board of trustees. And they said no. So he turned to me and said, right, Kate, create a school. So I said, yeah, no problem. So I had the opportunity to create a Kingwood Montessori school, which is a complete school. And I left in February in order to start this. And what happened is the teachers started giving in their notice. And I said, no, 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 like nothing exists. You can't leave. You have a job. The moment it's ready, we'll let you know. And that was March, April. So May, we started to actually, not, I'd done the plan already, but to actually put things together. It was a non-profit. So we got the non-profit started. We opened in 4 months. We opened in September. So we had like the fastest turnaround. We found a church who would host us. And then we also, at the same time, we found a strip mall, which was brand new. And Jim and I went in and we built out the spaces. We drew the spaces, and his team went in and built them out. So we moved into that in March. So it was a very fast process. Anyway, so then Janet, the director who we loved, was installed as the director of our school. So because we built it around her, but she couldn't do anything until the end of summer because she was on contract not to do competitive stuff. Anyway, so yeah, so that's how it started. And then all the teachers left. We had 10 of the lead teachers left the school, the previous school, to come with us. And the only teacher who did not come was the upper elementary teacher. So Janet turned to me and said, "Now, Kate, you're a teacher. You could do this training." So that year I went and did my elementary training. I also did my master's degree in Montessori. I also started, so I did that. And then I also, in 2012, took my director's license as a licensed director in Texas, but also my Montessori administrator's license. So it was like thick and fast, thick and fast. And I'm always in the world of I do what's next. I just do what's next in my life. I never plan plot. It just next thing happens. And then we had 2020. We survived brilliantly through COVID because we had a lot of essential service provider parents. So we were open. We were closed for 1 month, and then we opened immediately to their children to make sure they could carry on with the services they provide. And we had 2 fabulous payroll loans, and then an amazing loan, which was about 450,000 after the main misery. The government gave us that money to say, now, give back to your staff, give back to the people who stayed with you. Well, everybody stayed with us. Like we were really lucky. So it was, yeah, anyway, so that's great. So, and then sweetly, I did the Montessori and AI training, artificial intelligence training this week. So it's, what goes around comes around. I've left the school. I retired at the end of 2020. But so what happened then? Sorry, talking fast. What happened after retiring is that I realized I was the sickest and most traumatized I've ever been in my life. I was overweight. I was, because COVID did that to everybody. But if you were running anything with human beings involved, whatever you had going on for you and your family was multiplied exponentially because I was concerned for my staff and their family, and then the parents and their children who I loved, and then, and there is like it just went on and on. So it was traumatizing, and I hadn't realized how much I withheld because I'm a great one. I don't know if this lands with anybody. I'm fine. I'm good. All good. I'm fine. No worries. Yeah, I'm going to push through. I'm going to do this. It's my responsibility. I'm very A-type, so I was very like, it's going to be fine. But I wasn't attending to myself. So, and I have 3 children who are Montessori till 5th grade. and two girls who are terrifying, terrifying. They are, I mean, Amelia is a relational expert, so she does relational work, authentic relating, circling. She's been working with big corporations to allow their managers to actually like each other, to like people. And they've worked with lawyers. And Olivia is a ceremonialist, so she brings ceremony to every aspect of life. So they were going, no, mum, you've got to retire. You've got to get out of here. You're meant for something bigger. And I'm going, bigger? Hold it. Like, I've just done this school thing. Like, what do you mean bigger? And then what happened is I came out of school. I'm now in Colorado, which has, a legal use of psilocybin, of psychedelic mushrooms. And I decided to have every medicine journey I could find. Just anyone, everyone, just bring it on. I needed to find out what's going on for me, how I can restore my well-being, why I got so somatically out disconnected. I got disconnected from my own ontology, my own being. And I needed to know why, like what was happening here. And so ayahuasca, mushrooms, kambo, which is the frog neurotoxin. I mean, you just anything, everything. And what was really interesting is it brought me back to myself in a way that I didn't expect. Because first of all, as a head of school, I was always careful. I was politically correct. I didn't step out of the line. I was always to be relied on. So I decided as soon as I left school, I was going to be irresponsible, irrational, and unreliable. If anybody looked in my direction, I do not want them to go, great, Kate, you run that, go and do that. I went, no. I want you to look at me and go, oh, like what's she up to? So because what happens is I'm looking at you on the screen and I'm imagining this is very true for you. People look in your direction and go, oh, yay. Jackie's got it, Carol's got it, Megan's got it, Chinye's got it, Teresa's got it. And it's exhausting. And you go, no, 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 no. No, you get you. You get you. I'm going to teach you how you get you. And that's what Megan, I heard you saying. I'm going to teach you how you have got you. You don't need to look anywhere for anything. So basically what happened is as soon as I had my year restoration, and let me know when I'm nearing my time, but I had a year of restoration. And then I saw an advertisement for the American Montessori Society. They were starting a think tank and they were just asking for applications. So I think, oh, yeah, there's not. There is nothing to lose on that. So I saw a little face on the screen. There's nothing to lose on me sending in my resume. So I sent it in and got accepted straight away and arrived in a group of 25 people. On the first session, it was the Zoom calls. And we discussed what were the pain points for Montessori. And it's as the same as everybody. Teacher retention is huge. I mean, teachers are moving out of education en masse. Well, the public school education doesn't work anyway. It's not designed for children. It's Amazon with human bodies in it. So, Amazon, the company. So not the beautiful jungle. And so that's clear. But what was happening is that I thought, well, okay, so the area that I'm interested in is technology because I can help all of the other things felt like work, to teacher retention, curriculum. I don't want to do anything that sounds like work. I'm here to play. So I looked at the technology group and there were 6 of us. And that was in February, we started it. By March, artificial intelligence had hit the public domain like a tsunami. So I said, well, okay, we're working out our sort of central question at that time, and I said, well, no, we've actually got to look at artificial intelligence. Looking at whether there should be a laptop in a Montessori classroom is irrelevant at this point. We need to go further. So I started doing that, looking at artificial intelligence. So that was in 2023 in March. ChatGPT was born on my birthday in 2022, so November 30th. So I won't forget that. And what was happening is that I would say, hey, what about, because I was leading my little team of 6 because they were busy professionals. And as I was talking, I realized some of them just weren't turning up at the meetings. That was one thing. But then the others were kind of, well, I don't really, some of them, if they're college professors, they had grants for various research projects. They didn't want to risk their money. So they were going, I don't know. So it ended up with 3 of us spending a little bit of the year together. We hobbled, again, it was tricky because everybody was busy. And that's when I started the mapping work. So I realized with the Montessori materials, they teach foundational skills. So there's a pink tower. Everybody recognizes the little stacked tower of cubes. And it's really it's the pattern. You're looking at the pattern. You're also it's spatial awareness. It's also kinesthetics. That's tactile. So there's actually gravity. There's weight to each piece. So there's a whole lot of pieces. And I went, hold it. Surely, if you use that language and you find out what the equivalent would be in an artificial AI competency, I think that's the same thing. So being on my own, and at that point, I asked ChatGPT and I said, okay, so give me all of the competencies needed from. I gave them 3 documents. It was a UNESCO report, it was World Economic Forum report, and a McKinsey report. I said I downloaded all those documents in there, and I said, give me the top competencies needed for our children in the age of AI, not Montessori, every child. And it gave me a nice little list. And then I said, right, how are the schools doing? How are the public schools doing? And it kind of went, oh, well, sometimes there's an awful, like it's a bit hiccupy. And then I said, okay, here are the materials in the Montessori classrooms. I downloaded all the materials lists for the American Montessori Society. And I said, okay, map what you said about competencies to the materials. And it was like a zip. It just went, this, I just all the way down. I went, holy
Wow.
shit, this is really important. This, and I went, well, as even just a foundational knowledge, if you knew your work that you do in the classroom and don't have to touch and do anything with, other than do what you've been doing for 100 years, is already teaching AI competency, then you just need to know that. So that was my mission from then on. I started creating a Word document, and then I presented that at the 2024 conference. And that if you go onto my LinkedIn account, you'll see the video of me speaking. And then then I took it, then I did another year. And the second year, I was invited to stay. There were 11 of us in my team. So I was like, it felt like candy, like I had all these
Hey, we
humans.
have to
And
wrap it up.
Okay. And they were brilliant humans. So what's happened since then is I've been able to keep moving. I've got Traffic Montessori, I've got Montessori and AI books, and I have about 6 books, and they're just like here, ready to publish. But what I've been at the moment considering is just I've been trying to get the book out to as many schools as possible internationally so we can do the work together. Okay,
Oh,
that's me.
beautiful. Oh, thank you so much for all that you shared. You you're creating hope.
Thank you.
You're creating hope for the future of our
Mm,
children and how they learn and what
mm,
I mean, oh, so amazing, so amazing. I knew I would love having you as a guest on. I knew.
thank you.
So guys, who has a question? And we only have really time for 2 questions. Go ahead. Anybody have a question for her? I
Oh yeah,
know
I've got to
Jackie
have something I
does.
can't possibly. Oh
I
my
know.
gosh, it's even richer than I ever
Yeah.
imagined your background to be.
Yes.
And I guess my question is to Chi Chi,
Mm,
because we need to inject this.
Yes.
I love this Amazon.
mm,
It's like Amazon with people. I mean, it's
yeah. Mm,
how? My question to you, Kate, what would be the
yeah.
most effective way, other than me introducing you to Carol Spahn, which was my first, and I'll go
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
that
Thank you.
later. But the
Yeah.
point is, what would be the most effective way to
Mm,
inject this into our stagnant education system?
right. So
Absolutely.
So first of all, children are not vessels to be filled. They are galaxies. I literally. So if you look on Substack, I have a Substack called After Alpha. Just read all of my After Alphas. They're poetic. They're me thinking, my musing. But I say what I want to have, what I want to happen. Schools don't need to change. The building can stay the same. The teachers can stay the same. The curriculum stays the same, but you deliver it. You make one sheet saying to your first graders, your fourth graders, your 12th graders, this is what we want you to learn this year. We would, as a 12th grader, here's the things that you should know. And it's just literally bullet points. These are the things you must know. Because in Montessori, we have whole to parts. We talk about the creation story, the whole shebang first. And then we take it to the physics, and then we take it to the geology. So you want to tell them the whole, and we are withholding on a major scale when we go, well, I'm the only one who knows the curriculum, and I'll deliver it when I'm ready. Like, no, that's massive withhold. That's ugly. So no, you tell every level, here's what we're going to cover this year. And then Montessori, the children they have their own worksheets, and they have a piece of paper in first grade. They have math, language, geography, science, all the different parts of this curriculum. But the children work out how they're going to fit that in, and they go, well, I'm going to do math every day. I'm going to do I'm going to do language every day, because they know what they're working on. If they start a map, I'm going to do my map every day and not Wednesday. And like they work out how they're going to do it so they can fill in all their slots. So doesn't that sound respectful?
Yeah.
So if a school's, okay, the children have now got the curriculum, they have their work plan in first grade. 6-year-olds are very capable of keeping a work plan.
Yeah.
And also what it teaches is autonomy. So the children aren't looking somewhere else. If a child has seen on their curriculum, their full school curriculum, what they're going to touch this year, and it says plate tectonics, and the child goes, what? No, give me that now. I want that now. And they go deep dive, plate tectonics. They might play with it at home. They might, there are so many great models of plate tectonics on the computer. So they play at home. They may make a model. They might paint a picture. They might do anything, but they bring that in. If the teacher feels that they have sufficiently are they sufficiently able to say what are plate tectonics, how does it work? And the teacher goes, oh yeah, that's it. You've totally got it. They can actually cross that off on their roster, on their platform that says there's something called Unruler, Unruler, LR, I think it is, Unruler, and basically is a platform to capture all the things you do. So you might go, I'm going to upload a poem about plate tectonics. I'm going to upload my map model, and especially for middle and high school, and they upload all the work they've been doing. And if they're a poet and they've been recording a document as they were walking, that goes in there. So what you're doing is you're making it multimodal. So every expression of themselves regarding the curriculum, you want to say, look, we want you to know this stuff, but how you get there is your journey.
Beautiful. So, Kate, we have Tenere, and then we have to end, guys. Okay, so
Okay.
Tenere, you have a question. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Kate. And I think, a good point that you made is allowing children for me to think outside the box. And also, children from 5, they are sponge. They take in a lot. And I'm thinking that with the AI and the way it's taking over the world, is actually reshaping the way our kids are thinking. If
Yes.
only we can allow them and not just let them cultivate what they can do and be able
Yeah.
to be productive in the society. I think AI will do wonders for our children in the classroom.
So
Thank you for
I have a
that.
very strong opinion. So get students to create AI agents. Find as
Yes.
many platforms as you can find. Because if you create an AI agent, you start with a logo. Then you have to think about user interface, which is the social emotional learning. How do I want people to interact with my AI? Do I want to be polite? Do I want to be a bit sassy? And then once you've got that down, which has ended up being a script, you also then have to think about content, because there's nothing really in your AI until you put something in. So then thinking about sources. So is really, and then sources have quality. I don't want crappy bad sources. I want to have high quality sources. So it's the fastest way to get them thinking. But the freedom of movement is really important, autonomy, and also human. Just be as human as possible. Bring people to their senses. Find as many things you can taste, touch, smell, experience as possible every day.
Beautiful.
Children go outside barefoot. You want as many things to bring them to the senses as possible, because you want to seduce them into the real world, out of the digital world. And the only way that you do that is being a person who is worthy of their love and respect, and then also that you're providing them with, hey, this is the real world. Here is a flower. This is jasmine. I mean, just constant, constant, constant. So they can't avoid it. Do nature walks. I mean, we're going to counteract. We're going to bring them. Oh, and the Anxious Generation. Jonathan Haidt, Haidt, is the most incredible book for all of this. And he's given a whole plan for schools, the no phones, etc.
Kate, please put your information in the chat. All the things that you have shared where people can connect with you, please put your information in the chat. Okay, and guys, we've come to our end. And Kate, thank you so much for the stand that you have for education, for our children, for our future. Thank you so much for what you are up to and taking on. And I hope and pray that many people will see this episode and be wanting to connect with you, especially teachers, especially that have a real connection to education. So beautiful. All right, so guys, if you love these episodes, we do them Mondays and we do them Fridays. We do one on Monday and two on Friday. We are always looking for amazing guests to come and share their stories and inspire many across the social media realm. Please join us. Please share. Please share this episode. Please share all of our episodes. And please please subscribe to our channel. Please subscribe to our channel and share it with everyone. And then please make comments and post out on LinkedIn and let people know what we are up to and what we're doing. We love hearing your stories. Bring them. Guys, we all deserve to thrive. Let's do it together. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
There's no divide. Peace and love.